Good morning, rollers. How are you? We are gonna get into the kitchen today and do some baking. I thought it would be great to make some Amish cinnamon bread, but I don't have buttermilk. Have you ever had that problem? Well, I'm gonna show you today how you can still make that yummy bread even if you don't have buttermilk. Let's get started. So I don't always have buttermilk on hand. I usually have to go to the store and pick some up, but I have been researching how to make buttermilk if I run out or I don't have any, and there are 4 different ways, and I bet a lot of you even do these at home, but not me. So I'm going to be doing something today with how to make a cup of it, and that is by adding a tablespoon of lemon juice. Now, you could also use just a cup of plain yogurt, or you could even add a tablespoon of vinegar or 1 3/4 teaspoons of cream of tartar. So any of those 4 combinations with a cup of milk, with the exception of the yogurt, will make buttermilk for your recipe. So today I'm going to use the lemon juice, and we're going to get started right now. In fact, I'll start making my buttermilk. So I'm just gonna get my milk going. Pretty easy, wouldn't you say, to make your own buttermilk? So I got that right where I need it. And I'm just gonna add my lemon juice. Okay, while that's going, I'm gonna start getting our cinnamon sugar mix together and then just kind of putting that to the side. I'm also going to be linking below the video to where I made this before, and at the end of that video is actually all of the pieces to the recipe. So if you want to get all of it, or if you're just following along, either way, it's going to be so easy. Now let's get some cinnamon and sugar out. Okay, so now on to the cinnamon mixture. We're just gonna do 1/3 cup of sugar with a teaspoon of cinnamon. And that's it. We're just gonna mix that up and put it aside. And then we'll get started with creaming our butter, our sugar, and an egg. But let me get this nicely mixed up. This is gonna be so good. I've made this actually multiple times, and every time it's so good and delicious, very easy to put together. This is just the first time I'm actually making it with a different kind of buttermilk. All right, now let's get a big bowl and some beaters. So I have softened butter, just 1/2 cup, which is 1 stick. And then we're going to add to that a cup of sugar and 1 egg, and then just start to cream it all up. The more you mix it in, the better. We want to have less granules in this, so that way it's nice and fluffy. I'll bring you closer. So we're about halfway done with mixing whatever it is that we're putting into this bowl. Just a teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to now add that milk and 2 cups of flour. Now, this is called Amish, an Amish cinnamon bread, but I don't really think it's an Amish thing. I mean, I think that it is a quick starter. Like normally Amish breads are made with a sourdough and can be passed around like a friendship bread, which I've made that before, and that's super yummy. So this is kind of like a really quick version and kind of a stealer from that recipe. So I'm gonna get my flour now into it, and then we're just gonna mix that up and then start getting all that yummy cinnamon mixture into it. Now that is ready to go into a bread pan. Now I think it just looks so creamy, very much like homemade frosting to some degree. So we're gonna get this going in a greased bread pan, and then I'll show you what we need to do next. So I'm just getting a nice little spray in here. Probably want to coat that pretty good because you don't want it to stick in there. That's kind of a bummer when you kind of have to break it out of there. I'm sure it tastes great, but eek. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is take a little bit more of half of this batter and get that into our bread pan. So what we're making is it'll be a lot like a coffee cake. Gonna get that in here. And really, you probably have all of these ingredients probably at your house right now. I had everything. Then we're going to take our cinnamon mix and we're going to put about 3/4 over half of the mix. It's kind of funny, huh? So we're gonna put the majority of this cinnamon sugar mix on top. This is actually gonna be in the center. So pretty quick here, we're gonna do something to swirl it in. Oh yes, this is gonna give it like, it's gonna give it like some crusty, just yumminess to it. It's gonna give it like extra sweetness to it. Delicious. And then we're just going to put the other part of the batter on top of that. Now this, I've done this recipe before for my rollers, and it's actually one that I know I've noticed that my friends have been clicking on more often. So I thought I would do a more updated version of it, and in case you don't have buttermilk. So this is gonna be super good, and I know I have a lot new rollers around here. So this one will have, the recipe will be, actually it will have the link to the other video, and the other video will have the recipe at the end of that video. But if you've been following along, it's been pretty easy to put together. So you're just spreading that out over as much as you can. And then I'm gonna bring you closer. All right, so we're just going to add the rest of the cinnamon sugar mix on top. This is gonna give it a nice crust. And I'm not gonna put it all on, and you'll see why. Because I'm gonna take my knife and just kind of mix it in. And then we're gonna spread that back out again. Oh yes, this is gonna be super good. So now we're just getting those swirls in there. Now it doesn't have to be pretty because we're gonna smooth that out. Oh yes, yes, yes. Okay, so you can see now we probably have a lot of it swirled in. And the more swirls, the better, I say. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I can already see it. Let me show you up close here. Does that look delicious? Oh my gosh. Okay, and then we're just gonna kind of spread that out a little bit more. And now I just have a little tiny bit of that cinnamon sugar left. I'm just gonna add that to the top. Remember I said it's gonna give it a good crunch. Nice, nice, nice. This is gonna be, ooh, can't wait to get this in the oven. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so this is gonna go into 350, you guys, for about 45, 50 minutes, but I will tell you exactly, I have a convection oven, so I'm actually gonna check it about 40 minutes because I don't want it to overcook, and you're definitely going to do the toothpick test, so you're gonna wanna make sure it comes out clean, and then you'll know it's done. But let's get this baby into the oven. See you in 40 minutes. Look at what we have here. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this beautiful bread. It smells all kinds of delicious in my kitchen right now. The sad part is I'm gonna have to wait about 20 minutes to let it set. So, and just to let it cool down. But you guys, look at that little cinnamon sugar crust crumble on top. Wow, wow, wow. Am I right? Oh, so let me go put this down and then we'll start taste testing. So I am cutting the bread now, and it's still a little bit warm, but we waited the 20 minutes, right? And that was long enough. He couldn't wait, and I understand. Oh man.
So good.
Now I probably would let it cool down longer than the 20 minutes. But look at those swirls, you guys. Oh man. So now I'm gonna get some. Yeah, it would come out in more one piece if I let it cool a little longer. Okay, let's do this. Mmm, that's good, huh? He just dropped a crumbly piece. What do you think of it?
It's so good.
Mmm.
It like compares to Great Harvest,
Which is a bakery place around town. That is so good, you guys. That is like worth for breakfast, good for a snack, even a dessert, you guys. And you saw easy ingredients. And if you don't have buttermilk, I gave you an alternative to making it. So I used a tablespoon of lemon. You could use a tablespoon of vinegar or 1 and 3/4 teaspoons of cream of tartar. Don't have any of those and you have plain yogurt in your refrigerator, use a cup of plain yogurt, you guys. And that is it. Yummy Amish cinnamon bread made with a buttermilk alternative, and it is
good.
Oh, so good. I can't wait to have a little bit more. So thanks so much for coming by the channel today, watching this video. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you've ever made the Amish cinnamon bread. I'm going to link below the video to when I did it originally. And at the end of that video is the actual recipe card. So just take some snapshots or write it down. Super easy. Also, I'm just super grateful to all of you rollers. Thanks for supporting the channel and stick around. You just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Bye, everybody.